Part 2, Babaji Journal. Forgiveness for Freedom's Sake by Thanissaro Bhikkhu, this Theravada Buddhism monk. When do you forgive? One loving community on good terms, each have their own inspiration, where they're not any position to judge anyone else, ? There's no beginnings, no sense to it, no end, ? No real closure. Some stop wandering, but that doesn't keep the universe and other beings from continuing to roll on. There's no one in charge. What karma do you want to make? Unskillfulness has to stop with you. You don't have to love them or come to closure. You can leave it where it were. Reconcile if mutual and worth it, but that's not always possible. You can give forgiveness even if they don't accept. Accept not being forgiven. Give up loving all or being loved. Do develop goodwill. May you be happy wherever you go. Sometimes a relationship is no good, like a snake and a man. May all look after themselves with ease. You're not always pleasing everyone. Focus on your own mind and be harmless. The mantra is a very powerful opening into the soul, Bhagavan Das says. Kali with a sword. Tomorrow never comes, baby. The moment is all we ever have. Destroy the past and the future. Live in the moment. If I would find someone again to love, to manifest what we were incubating, this girl says, and asks Ram Dass' yogi about her dead boyfriend or husband. And he said, and she told Ram Dass that her dead husband said, Abby, this was small peanuts, and when you find that love, I'm part of it. Beauty. Attachment to material things make man cling to life. While attached to life and afraid of death, you die with that fear. That weight clung to you. If you die without fear and remembering the name of God, then soul leaves body free from that fear and attachment. If you are reborn, your soul is still free from that fear. If you die in unity, you're free from rebirth unless you will it. Babaji Harikhan said that. Lord Shiva. Yuttadhammu, this one monk, says this on the topic of drugs and alcohol addiction. Bhikkhu. Seeing and think, etc., sets of the memory of the pleasure. Break the chain between seeing it and wanting it. Memory, happy, liking, wanting, chasing, feeling, note it. Each piece is not you, not yours. It has nothing to do with you. It'll come up any moment. Desire that wasn't wanted or expected, that is. You can't control it. Realizing you can't control it is the essence of addiction. It has nothing to do with you. It's someone else's problem. If wanting gets bigger, no problem. See wanting. Means nothing, it's just wanting. No self, non-self. Not giving it power, it is what it is. When you're guilty or angry about it, and when we try to find a way to overcome it, or forget about it, divert attention away from it, we're giving it power. Saying it's dangerous, terrible, a big problem, etc. Yes, pleasure is what it is, but it's not really anything special. Don't expect meditation to get rid of it, but expect it to allow you to deal with it to the point you don't need to use the substance, even though you're still addicted. You're able to live with it and the wanting, not having to chase after the wanting. Emmanuel, channeled by Pat Rodercast, says, how do you live with the absolute wisdom of eternity within the limited vocabulary and experience of humanity. Is this not your purpose? Question mark. There is not one part of you that is not designed to honor love, emotions, etc. Don't separate yourself from portions of who you are. That's fragmentation, illusion. The multiplication, etc. One who abstains from what might be an evil action through fear has not really liberated himself from evil. So long conduct is motivated by fear or desire, we're incapable of performing a truly moral action. True moral, because if you're motivated, true moral, unmotivated. True morals are unmotivated. Because if you're motivated to do good by fear, your good under other circumstances be evil. Like the warrior Gandhi must not be violent on sentimental grounds, but because he sees it as his dharma and vocation and role in life. Rise, Arjuna, resolved on battle, treating alike pleasure and pain, loss and gain, victory and failure. To action alone thou hast right, never at all to its fruits. Let not fruits be thy motive, not let there be attachment, nor let there be attachment to inaction. Fixed in yoga, toss away good and evil. Intelligence yoked, skill and action is yoga. Yoked with the divine. If a moral man must be a free man must be an unmotivated man. God's creation, secret force, thyself, unmoved, all motion source, spontaneous, unmotivated actor. God creation's secret force, thyself, unmoved, all motion source, spontaneous, unmotivated actor. It's an illusion to suppose every moment is determined, caused by the past, karma, maya. For the eternal now of the universe is not the consequence of its past, but rather the past is always the consequence of the present of the eternal now. Like the wake of a ship, it doesn't push it. Thus it is this realization that he's the eternal now, that he's able to act in a free way and go into battle, not because hate or fear, because it's his duty in society. The one who transmigrates is this reality as well. This is why one has to imagine the state before birth and after death as a blank annihilation, because thought is annihilated in trying to grasp the reality which lies deeper than thinking. That's why we don't remember past lives. Being, knowledge, bliss. We shouldn't confuse the center of our lives with blind force, for one don't get life and consciousness and feeling and reason from mere stuff, as if the dead can give birth to the living. So this notion of blind force, popularized by scientists as ultimate reality, is the result of the fact that when the human mind gets out of its depth, it drowns and vomits up a lot of dead ideas. Why does Krishna ask Arjuna to fight? You have to act. You can't be passive. And sometimes even do violence to our own lower natures in order to allow that upward flow of energy to actually manifest. Arjuna represents the individual aspiring for greater realities. December 30th, 2022. In the morning, Nicole's waking me up to leave for work. Truth upon my awakening immediately said to her, I am always with you. Playing through me, he is. Babaji says those words. Bole Baba Ki Jai. He's always with me, whether I know it or not. He's with Nicole always too. I am always with Nicole eternally. When I said it, I felt merged in him, in her. Indeed, I am always with you. It just happened. I can't explain what happened this morning. Haha. Nowhere to stand, nowhere not to stand. Form is not entrapping. It starts now. Every moment creating it. It didn't begin in the past. There was no past. See if the universe began in the past. When that happened, it happens now. It was now. It's still now. And it's still beginning now. And it's trailing off like a wake of a ship from now. Things are not explained by past. They're explained by what's happening now. That's the birth of responsibility. Simply live now, the way through now, when you know that this moment is the Tao, and this moment by itself without past and future eternally. Neither coming into being, neither going out of being. That's nirvana. The only thing going around is time. The clock, it's doing its thing, but you're sitting here, right now, always. Nobody is going anywhere. Nobody's coming from anywhere. We're all here in an eternal time and space, always going to be here, doing Lila Rasa, the divine dance. We're dancing in one body and another. We're all here, staying right here. You do not love in order to take away the pain, because if this is your motive, you are not loving, you are fearing. Yes, because it's your essence and soul desire to say yes. What are you doing that for? Now I have to find another way to process what I've done, to learn with, grow with, and transform. So here, balance and honor both created and created. Next page. There is no virtue in self-rejection, no peace. Why do I dislike myself? Because fear has caught you in believing you don't deserve happiness, respect, etc. Yes, you do. Write yourself love letters. Self-love is the gift you have brought. If you didn't love yourself, you wouldn't have even tried to become human. But you are so sure of your own perfection, you risk knowing it wasn't a risk, entering into forgetting because love has called you. Next, you don't have to have that urge, that desire, the unfulfilled thing. Just let it be and be more. Be. What's holding you back? Your thoughts? Question mark? Huh? You got to give them up. Just ego planning. Planning for the future? Question mark? Well, it's all right here now. Forget it. It's all right here now, baby. That's later. Now is now. Are you going to be here or not? It's that simple. Continuing in the next video.